Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jake, aka Tag, and today we're back at it again with the 20-win challenge. I just snagged it 20-2 with 2.9 XBOW, one of the most skillful decks in the game, unlike all the lava clone decks out there. Sorry, guys, had to take shots at that because it hurts me. It hurts my soul when I play against a lava clone. So we're going to show you guys how to finesse some hard counters. I'm going to be recording the rest of this video later on my vacation when I have some free time. So let's go jump straight into the games, and hopefully we can get everyone a little bit better with 2.9 XBOW. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jake, aka Tag, and today we're coming at you live straight from Canada, and we are going to be showcasing 2.9 XBOW and how to play it in some of the tougher matchups today. So let's roll right into it. The first game of the day will be against Barbarians, Fireball Bait with Royal Hogs, Flying Machine, Musketeer, and Barb Barrel. Definitely not easy. You know, this should probably be a draw specifically because he doesn't have a big spell. If he has a big spell, I would give him matchup advantage. But should be a draw. I've played both sides of the matchup. I actually played the deck that he played, and I consistently got like 16 wins because I kept playing against people that ended up having like Fireball, Ice Wizard, NATO, and then also Tombstone. Yugi Art was on call with me, and I actually was so triggered when that happened, guys. You have no idea. I got it 3 times, and I was just like, this isn't life. This is not real life. So the good thing about Expo compared to the deck that he's running, you can't really draw when you have all offensive cards. When you're playing Golem, when you're playing P.E.K.K.A., when you're playing this amazing Royal Hogs Bridge Spam, yes, it's great in almost every matchup, but you're not going to do super well when you have hard matchups. And specifically when I feel uncomfortable, the number one tip that I can give you guys is just draw the bad matchup if you feel like it's hard and you feel like you're not comfortable in it. So specifically against Golem players, Golem Lightning, I will be drawing that like 90, 95% of the time. Against RG, every single matchup's a draw unless they're good. And yeah, it's just going to be, it's a tough time to play Expo because you need to be extremely patient. I would say I got like, I played so many runs with 2.9 before I got the 20 and I learned so much. But I think I got like around 5 draws average on most of my runs. Anyway, getting into this game, we end up seeing that he's running the Bridge Band with Royal Hogs, and I eventually will end up going in for defensive Teslas when I figure out that he doesn't have a big spell because there's no way for him to kill it, right? So generally, the way that you want to play this matchup that I figured out was you drop a defensive expo, you defend it, and then you counter push after. You're probably not going to be able to break through. This matchup should be a draw, specifically because of how many counters he has to your expo. You shouldn't ever let you walk on. But you guys are going to see time and time again how I am going to be combating that. Also, notice something that he did in the middle. He ended up splitting Barbarians. When he splits the Barbarians like that, you can't fireball all of them and kill them, so that's going to be really frustrating. That's his primary way of defending you, because you're not going to be able to kill the 2 Barbarians on the left unless you drop something there. You just don't want it. So you guys are going to notice time and time again, I'm just going to fireball the Musketeer because I'm like, okay, if he messes up once here, I'm going to be fine. If he messes up once, I get 1 Expo walk, I've already gotten a lot of fireball damage, then I can fireball him out for full after that. So I just need 1 Expo walk. That's what I'm hoping for here. And I have Tesla for the Royal Hogs. I have Log for all the spam. I have Ice going for the Bandit for +1 trade. I basically have a really solid foundation to defend anything that he throws at me as long as my micro interactions are down pat. So here we go. That's the defensive expo that I'm talking about. I don't know if he has a big spell or not, so I drop the expo in a spot that he cannot end up fireballing. And then I go in for the offensive expo because I already have a defensive one. The defensive one is able to fortify my position. He ends up Flying Machine, and that's tough. That's what I was talking about before. The Flying Machine, the Musketeer, he has 2 ranged units to combat your expo, and that's really why it should be a draw. But our Tesla is just getting infinite value. When you stack up defensive buildings, specifically in double elixir, then you're going to get way more value from them. Specifically because there's a lot more units being placed on the map, and the expo HP deteriorates over time. So since there's less units on the map in single elixir, then the expo or the Tesla doesn't get as much value. But in double elixir, since there's more units, you're obviously going to have the same amount of time on your building, so you're definitely just going to get more value because it's just going to kill more stuff. Anyway, defensive expo as per usual. That's what I got to do, and how I win this game, it's going to be pretty crazy. But I just wanted to break down like how you're supposed to play it, and it illustrates how you're supposed to play it. I'm not really breaking through because it's not really a matchup where you're supposed to break through if he's good, and he's playing this pretty well. He's keeping up the aggression. He's fly machine on top of my Expos when I go up high. If he didn't do that, he would have lost the game, by the way. He's splitting Barbarians, so he's playing this absolutely perfectly. This guy is a great player. So here it is, guys. It's, oh, no, it wasn't there. All right. Well, it's going to be pretty sick. He's going to end up going in for a snowball right on top of the skeletons. Yeah, he's playing this super, super well. He's splitting everything in the back as well. And we're just dropping defensive expos. We're saving our elixir here. We're not spending elixir on a Tesla when we don't need to. I eat a lot of damage here, and yes, you guys might be like, why are you eating damage here? I realize it's going to be a draw. He can't break through. He cannot end up getting any more chip damage on me other than like snowballing my tower out. So if I take like 500 damage from the bandit, I have enough elixir for the pre-fireball, and I end up sealing his fate right there. We sent him to the Shadow Realm, and that felt pretty good. So in matchups that you know you can actually win off of a prediction, and you're not going to lose, it's safe to do it. I know that looked cool, but don't do it if you know that you could lose the game. I'm not going to do that in a matchup where I know the dude can break through, and he has poison, and he has other avenues of killing my Expo. I got an elixir advantage, I capitalized on it with prediction. The only way I could ever break through was that fireball, and I won the game specifically because of that prediction. In worst case scenario, I was going to draw. So before you make a prediction, realize, okay, do I need to make this prediction? If I do, then if I don't do it, then I lose. Yes, I'll do it. That's one avenue. Or if I do the prediction, do I lose the game? And if the answer is yes, don't do it unless you're going to lose the game if you don't make the prediction. So basically, it was a safe thing. I did it, and worst case scenario, he ends up just drawing out the game because he doesn't drop the barbs there. But that was super hype, and yeah, pretty good matchup. All right, so for our next game, we actually got the worst matchup in the entire game, in my opinion. So out of everything that I want to play against, the last thing that I want to play against is Giant Miner. And I haven't seen this deck in this challenge at all until this run. And I got it twice. I actually lost to it once, so that was one of my losses. But we're going to go walk through this game. It was pretty ridiculous how this actually panned out. So the issue with this matchup is they can end up going in for a Giant on top of your Expo, and then Miner your tower. And the Giant kills the Expo, the Miner chips away at your tower, you drop skeletons, they zap them. It just feels like crap. They also have Fireball for your archers. So I need to stack Teslas, or I need to get a huge elixir advantage and cycle Teslas where we outcycle his Giant. So that's how I'm going to be trying to make this work. I also really want to capitalize. If he overcommits with a Miner and a Fireball, or if they have Miner and Poison, then you can capitalize and really punish them heavily. After I see the Prince and the Mega Minion, I'm like, not like this, not today, dude. I just want the 20 win, don't give me this. And he is being an absolute mad lad, going in for the Miner. The Prince is really busted, so I need to drop the Ice Spirit. I was really scared of that thing just connecting them to the tower there, the Tesla tower. I want to keep the Tesla alive as much as possible because I just hope he goes for an absurd aggression play like Giant. It just doesn't feel good when you get this matchup. I mean, it could still be Golem at this point, but we now see the Giant, and we're like, yeah, this is my life. This is great. So he's going to go Fireball that, and we see that he's just spent a lot of elixir, so the Tesla's going to get one hit off on the Mega Minion. The Mega Minion's rendered useless. He can't do anything with it. So that's a great thing. If you get any chip damage on the Mega Minion, you just want to ignore it. It's not happening. At this point, this was really, really cool. Notice where I drop my archers here. They're going to snipe a little bit of the Miner. I do it here because it's going to hit the Miner, and it's going to walk in the same lane and support my Expo. Really solid to do that. If you're running 2.6 and you have Musketeer, do the same thing against Miners, and you don't give them poison value or fireball value. I hate giving them value with any type of spell. That is how you lose the game. So we get a ton of Expo value as well because we use the archers. Because of the archers, I was able to augment my push and get so much more damage. You really want to be building up pushes with your Expo. You can't just go in willy-nilly with an Expo and be like, yo, this is totally going to work against a Giant. You end up having to have a Tesla on the mount, or you have to end up having archers counter pushing. So we're going for a defensive Expo because you know what that does? That kills Miners. And it also is out of range of a Fireball, so what is he going to do? He's going to go in with the Giant. This guy's not playing this matchup very well. Sometimes they do not know how to play it, and he actually decided to go in for a Giant right into a Tesla and an Expo. and that worked out really, really well for us. We're going to go in for another Expo because his Giant's out of cycle. We baited out the Giant. He is not in cycle at all, and now he's going in for a Giant into the Tesla and Expo. We have archers on the map, and notice how far out of rotation. It takes 4 cars for him to get back into rotation, right? So gradually, because his cycle is so much more expensive, he will not have the elixir to combat us at all. We just go with the fireball cycle and we win the game because we outcycle him quite a bit there. We use the archers early on, and we get chip damage for 2 expo locks, and then we can fireball him out. In this matchup, it's actually really hard to fireball cycle because he can fireball, log, zap, miner you, so you have to get multiple locks generally to win this matchup. So yeah, we won this very hard matchup, but I think I played that almost perfectly, and he definitely made a ton of slip-ups. So with 2.9, you can force them to make slip-ups, and if they're not knowing how to play their matchup or the deck perfectly fine, they're going to lose. So we made him play uber aggressive with his Giant, and we started dominance. So guys, let's go right on to our next game. So we actually got our next game right here, our 18th win against RG Fireball. So Fireball is not easy to play against at all, guys, because if they have Lightning RG, they can't kill archers. They just simply cannot kill your archers. You stack archers, you're chilling, you're like, yo, how are you going to kill these archers? We're going to draw this game 100%. But when you end up seeing a dude that rocks the Fireball, you're like, oh man, I can't drop my archers same right. So that's going to be an issue. Show you guys how to navigate this one. So we see Tombstone. When I see Tombstone, I'm thinking Lava Loon. I'm like, yo, you gonna go in for your Lava Hound soon? I'm still thinking that it's probably gonna be a Lava Hound deck after seeing Electro Dragon. So it's gonna be like Lava Hound with Miner or something. Probably not Lava Clone after seeing Electro Dragon and Tombstone. Usually Clone doesn't have room for that. I'm just gonna go opposite because I know I can ignore that, and then I'm pleasantly greeted with an RG. So in this scenario, he's got RG Barbarian, 2 fat counters to my Expo. The Electro Dragon is here. I tried to activate King Tower. I actually made a misplay there, so could have been better, guys. Could have been better right out of the gate. I know. It's okay. He is going to go in for the RG. He's going to get a couple hits because I went for an Expo. I thought that, this man ended up having a Lava Hound deck, and it just was a surprise, guys. We go opposite lane because I count cards, and I realize, hey, he's not going to end up having RG. And we go in. I'm going to probably go in for an Ice Golem. We can go in for the Ice Golem, and we're trying to outcycle. You guys are going to see this. With hard counters, if they don't have a fast cycle and they have a hard counter, they consistently are not able to get back to it time and time again because their cycle is severely impaired. If I'm cycling Skeletons, Ice Golem, Ice Spirit, Log, and you're cycling Electro Dragon, Tombstone, Ice Wizard, that's going to be a problem for you because eventually, because of Elixir, you don't have an Elixir hack, I hope, and you don't get more Elixir than me. You're going to get outcycled and you're going to lose if you don't play perfect. So, yeah, that's how you want to play 2.9 Expo if you are not making inefficient trades. Like, I wouldn't just cycle Skeletons, Ice Spirit, Ice Golem at the river to get back to an Expo. You need to make sure that you're getting value out of your cycle units. So if I'm doing that effectively and he's doing his spam ineffectively, he's going to be Elixir inefficient. He's not going to have Elixir to cycle back to his hard counter. He's going to lose the game. As you guys see, this is a tough matchup for me. And every single time there's a tough matchup, guys, we drop defensive Expos because, worst case scenario, I draw it. I'm fine drawing this matchup. I'm fine drawing Giant Miner, even though it's generally not a draw. It's going to be a winner or a loss just because they have Fireball, Miner, Log, and Zap. They have so many avenues of killing you from direct damage. This guy doesn't. He only has Fireball. He doesn't have Miner. So there's no way that, if he had Miner RG, I would probably lose like fat now. But in this type of matchup, I know that I'm okay drawing it. I really am. Dropping Ice Golem, dropping Archers, dropping Expos, making sure that I'm trying to bait out an RG. I really trying to bait out an RG into this half-dead Expo and Archers. Like, this is what I want. It's not a good play at all, but you guys would be surprised by people with hard counters, what they do, just because they're like, yeah, I never lost this matchup in my life. Easy stuff. Like, this is what I designed my deck for. I lost to too many Expos in my life. I need to win it. Sometimes they'll just go right into it. So he's got an Electro Dragon. He's going to end up having Royal Giant, and he's going to have Mega Minion. This is actually going to be a formidable push. I really want to just fireball all of it because I have a lot of value. I end up missing the Mega Minion, but, it's okay, guys. a pretty defensive deck that I'm rocking, and he doesn't have direct damage. So a little bit of misplace here and there. I'm nervous. I know that I still have the game on lock if I continuously end up going for defensive expos. I'm not really trying to win this game at this point. I'm waiting for misplays, like went in for an RG opposite lane of the expo like that, and then you won't be able to be back to RG in time to kill the next expo. So things like that are really wacky. Notice the Tesla placement. You can Tesla and go in for an expo like that, and they can't lightning them both. And I'm just saying that specifically because if you face against RG Lightning, you want to end up going for a Tesla there and then a expo in closer to your other tower so that they can't lightning it. It's super, super important. So we completely outcycled his RG there. Notice how he ended up going in for an RG in the back. It died to the Tesla. And then he overcommitted, cycled really hefty elixir units. He ended up using his fireball kit so I can stack my archers right next to my expo. I log back the Barbarian that's right on top of the expo. I fireball here, and now I know the game is over because, you know, one more fireball, 201, we got it in the bag, and I'm just not even going to want to cycle, like, it's not really important to cycle the log at this point, but I do it, and GG, well played, peace out. But another pro tip and trick is if you end up having log Ice Spirit Ice Golem, you don't really want to log the left-hand side. You'd rather just drop an Ice Golem instead because it's the same elixir as the log, but it will delay any type of push. So let's say someone ends up having a bandit and the tower's at like 102. You don't want to end up like logging the bandit or logging the tower. You know that the fireball's going to kill the tower anyway. Just drop the Ice Golem. I see a lot of people just log a tower that's already going to die to fireball. It's really risky if they're spamming you. So it didn't matter in that situation. He gave up. He sauced out the GG. But yeah, we beat a fat hard counter specifically because he has a slow card cycle. He doesn't have direct damage. And we were able to catch him off guard when he made a misplay, cycling the RG in the back right into the Tesla. So yeah, we just made sure that we capitalized on a mistake. That's what you got to do with 2.9. Otherwise, you're going to be drawing every single game. So yeah, let's go right into the next one, guys. So for the very last game of the 20-win challenge, we played against a deck with 20 million tanks nonetheless. This guy is going to end up having the Ice Golem, the Girl Rascals, the Miner, and the Barb. So definitely not easy. One of my least favorite matchups to have in this game. And you guys are going to see how I navigate this. Well, a lot of the time, you really just are forced to drop defensive expos, draw out the game, because they have so many tanks at Fur Tower and Balloon that it's not really easy for you to ever break through. And it's not easy for him to break through because he doesn't have a big spell, right? If he had a big spell, it would be way easier for him to break through the Teslas. And he's going to end up having to go in for like a snowball and a balloon to end up killing the Tesla in one hit. And if he does that, then you're in a bad situation. So defensive Tesla and defensive expos in conjunction together will end up drawing you every single time. The defensive expos, not only do they end up help kiting, but they also end up killing a lot of units on defense. So even if he miners, it will end up dying to the defensive Tesla. You guys are going to notice right here that I end up kiting the balloon to the King Tower, and that's generally not something that's going to ever happen. But the reason why that happened, and you guys can rewind to see the HP of the Expo. The Expo was really, really low. He went in for a miner to tank, and he ended up killing the Expo in one hit with the balloon. And then I was able to kite to the King Tower. Usually, if the balloon is going to kill the Expo in 2 hits, what happens is it's not going to be worth it because the Tesla will end up killing the balloon, and then you will not be able to pull to King Tower in time. So he made a misplay. I capitalized on that, and for the rest of the game, you guys are going to see me play super aggressive because we've already activated King Tower. I can afford to do so. I can afford to play super aggressive because we have the luxury of the defensive King Tower helping us in every single avenue. This guy has relinquished any ability to play super aggressive. He's going to have to play defensive for the rest of the game with his 20 million tanks. So I've realized that this is a bad matchup. I should probably draw this, but I can also play super aggressive in this specific instance, not in every instance. So guys, don't be doing this unless you've activated your King Tower. Just continuously going in for expos on offense. Usually you want to go defensive expo, but I'm going to go in for a lot of offensive expos because his balloon, most of the time will not be in cycle when I do it. And it's going to be in cycle here, but I realized that I have the King Tower activated, I'm fine. Always want to go and log the Girl Rascals. If you log the Girl Rascal on the left-hand side that I just did with the Thick Boy, then they're going to have less of a push. If it's behind the Thick Boy and you don't log it and you log the other side because you have more chip damage, you're going to be regretting that. You'll probably lose the game. Another thing that I did right there, I vertically kite back the balloon. So if I just cut it back horizontally in a line like horizontally, it's not very good for me because the death damage is imminent. Like he's definitely gonna get death damage on the tower. We pull it back, and then it has to go back all the distance that it already traveled. So it's really bad for the green there. Awesome play by me, and I think that was one of my most proud plays in the 21 challenge, like getting that off and making sure that he didn't get any damage there at all. Anyway, this guy is consistently going in for more tanks, and more tanks. He's going to end up having a balloon here. He's going to end up going in for a barb barrel, and then he's able to snowball because he's already barb barreled, so my archers are going to die. Super, super unfortunate for me. Another thing that you guys will end up seeing is he's just going to keep going barb barrel every single time on the expo. So the thing that I like doing, if I am able to successfully do it, you want to end up getting the skeletons on top of the barb barrel. And the timing is you end up waiting for the barb barrel to cross the river. Like right as it's hitting the expo, you drop the skeletons. And the skeletons will envelop the barb barrel, and the barb will end up hitting the skeletons instead of your expo. Otherwise, if you're not confident with that, you want to log it, not in this matchup because they're full rascals, but you want to log it back or just drop Ice Spear to reset it and make sure it's not attacking your expo. You get so much more damage that way. So I'm consistently going in for expos here because I've already activated King Tower, as I've said before, and I'm not really worried about it. I am going to end up going in for a lot of damage here. I'm actually getting a considerable amount of damage. I'm going in for another Expo because he doesn't have Bloom inside, so he's going to have to go for an Ice Bomb opposite lane. Very smart by him, guys. So a good player, when you guys see good players, like this guy obviously is going to go in for the Ice Bomb opposite lane, so it's not going right into Tesla. When you play against worse players in classic challenges or lower grand challenges, not in 20-win challenges, you're going to end up playing people that go into you, and then you're laughing because you're like, yo, you just get shredded by my Tesla. So that's why I really love playing 2.9, because if you play against bad people, you are most certainly going to win or draw. You're not going to lose. When I play a P.E.K.K.A deck or when I play other decks for the 20-win challenge, I was having so many issues because I was like, dude, I am playing a hard counter. Like, this is not a good matchup for me. I would probably lose it if I was playing a deck like Golem. I can't draw a hard counter, right? You're not drawing against an Inferno deck that rocket cycles you. Anyway, this guy is consistently going in for more Ice Golems again, and I'm in a situation where I'm down Elixir. I'm down 2 Elixir, and I would have to wait for the Ice Golem to die. He's going to go in for a Balloon here. He's playing super aggressive. I'm going to go in for a Tesla here. And we're really rearing the end of the game here. So I'm going to go in for a offensive Expo, and this play, I was hoping that we would be able to hit the Ice Spirit on top of the Balloon. It didn't really happen. I was hoping to deny death damage, but at least the Balloon could have hit. And I go for Skeletons. I actually missed the Barb Barrel, which is super unfortunate. So a few things in my situation are just not going right. We Fireball, so then Ice Golem gets pushed back. We get the Expo locked onto the tower, and that was absolutely filthy. So I was really happy about that. In this situation, he has Bats, he has Balloon coming at me. I go in for an offensive Expo because I know that my tower's at very high HP. I go in for an Ice Spirit, and again, it does not hit the Balloon. So my Ice Spirits were super unfortunate, but I know that the Balloon will not end up taking it. I go in for the Fireball, and I snag the W. So we end up clutching the 20-win with 4 seconds left, and it was super solid. It was actually meant to be way less close than that. The Ice Spirit was supposed to hit, and he wasn't supposed to get death damage one time, but we still walk away with the W because I know that the Balloon hits. After 2 Balloon hits and the death damage, it's going to be 666, and he ended up getting a minor on my tower at the end, and it obviously wasn't going to do that. So we were able to Fireball him, and we captured the W. So that was the 20-win challenge, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm glad that I was able to put it out. Even when I'm on vacation, we were able to record everything and get it out to you guys. I know that the sound quality and the mic is going to be a little bit different, but yeah, I'm just really happy to get it out. Anyway, I want to give a huge shout out to all my friends that taught me 2.9 and helped me a lot. Seriously, I don't think I could have done it without Frost, Mini Minter, Dank Gannon. You guys are freaking awesome, and I learned so much from them. So huge shout out to them. Thank you guys, everyone that supported me on Twitch and on YouTube and social media throughout this 20-win challenge. I love you guys to pieces. I got motivated by you guys to consistently play it every single day until I finally got it. And honestly, I learned a lot by playing the challenge consistently. So the way that I like to see 20-win challenge, even if you don't get it, even if you don't end up getting it and you're grinding a lot, right? Don't be frustrated. Look at it as a learning experience. Eventually, you're going to get better. and eventually you're going to end up becoming a better player as a result. So I hope you guys were able to take away something from this video. Let me know down below in the comment section. Sauce me a fat thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it, and sub up if you guys enjoyed this type of content and you haven't already subbed up. So thanks for watching, thanks for chilling with me, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Bye!
I'm gonna end that.